How we doing, everybody? How we doing? Oh, oh. Give me a second, get my composure. We're gonna get this going. Happy Friday, everybody. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Oh, oh. We're gonna pick up where we left off with our nickel hunt. Uh, did have some unexpected things that happened though, and yeah, I'll be revealing to you guys. Uh, we'll figure out how we embrace the situation, take advantage of it in the most positive way. I wasn't expecting something that happened when it comes to coins. How we doing, everybody? Just so you know, I can't see the screen do this at the same time, so I don't want anybody thinking that I'm ignoring them. Mysteries abound, everybody. Yesterday's hunt was pretty epic. Some serious bone crushers out of there. Got two 24s. Surprised we got two. I'd never cease to amaze me. We got one last night, if you remember. Oh, well, this ain't intended for circulation. This is an NIFC. Same year, too, as the one from last night, an 87. Ooh, there's our first one. Let's look at good old Queen Elizabeth there. The second under. I guess that's who she had building the dams. Either or. Not intended for circulation. Not our country's coin, but either way, that's what we exclusively like. Stuff not intended for circulation, but we'll take anything that is positive, or we can take some good and make it better. Whoops. The river. All your 24s, all your 2024s, keep them. All around. They did not make a lot of them that year, so they're high commodity. Ooh, he's a little hot already. $25. They ain't gonna do it. I'm seeing. What is it? I don't know. Can you? Oh, that's just a 75. 75 Denver small D. But yeah, I've got a little conundrum on me, but I don't know if I should be what they've been made out of for the last 40, 50 years, even longer. Nickel and rhodium alloy. Nickel's actually heavier than Hold on here. I gotta check for that. We always like to get them older proofs. You know that. That's a D. But ooh, we got our first 26 of the night. Save the manatees. Yeah. There we go. There we go. We already got them in the booksies, so we're good on that. We're stacking them chips up hide and check on his tiptoes. Oh, there's a roll of dimes from last night, so we'll do that eventually. I mean, unless you get a special strike, like, I don't even know if they do it with all denominations, but like what they do with the quarters and like 50-cent pieces and stuff, they make special silver clad strikes, but those ain't intended for circulation. But it don't matter, you still find it. $65. Any mint right now? Mint might. Nope, nope, nope. No mint might. What is that? 89. $74. The hell? Ooh. 41. Denver. Still a nice old one. Gotta keep you. Oh, well, you're helping us trend with time that you can never get back in your life. So what is your point if that's what it is to you? Because you're off to a bad start. I could just tell if this is how you are here, I could imagine how you are in the flesh. Probably frightened child. Can't conjure the courage at night to light a candle. Hiding in the hole trapped like caged animal. I'm almost guaranteeing it. I'm almost guaranteeing it. Ain't you? Well, now you don't want to say nothing, but you opened this door. We're finishers by default around here. We don't deal with that. My moderators ain't gonna deal with it either. Oops. Sorry, no tortilla. Well, nickel is part of the coins, and guess what? The channel asks for them. They've been requesting a lot. Now, I think that was, I don't, if that's what one of them looked like as a sanding there, I would never know. But you know, the other night when we were doing our hunts, you guys yanked a nice sander. I mean, on the other side, it's excellent. Never got a sander like this. Damn near empty, you know, round. Can't wait to send this one in to get graded. That's a true sander right there. But yeah, you guys did that. But this one, like I said, I can't say yes, I can't say no. Honestly, it can't say nothing until it's actually certified. But you know, certain people know certain things are errors, so it don't matter. But yeah, there's more in life than just every other coin, man. We don't stick on just one coin. You can't give your undivided attention just to one thing, because everything else will find somebody to give it to, and it will leave you. And nickels are really fun and eventful. Ooh, damn, can you believe this? We're on our second roll, and we just hit our first NIFC. Save the manatees! 1970 proof, baby. Yeah, and this mother, healthy. Healthy as hell. Um, it was people requesting it, and we give everybody what they want. On top of that, if it wasn't for Nichols, I probably wouldn't be in the airs the way I'm. Nichols, where I found my first official air. I'll show you guys that in a little bit. But this is a healthy nickel, especially for a 70 proof. More punch than a bowl of juice. Hell yeah! Let's go. But in very, very short time, if since you're witnessing, this is exactly why every coin is done, because people request it and everyone enjoys it. 76 no mint. Is it no mint mic? I don't know if 76 had mint mics or not, but yeah, I'm not seeing one. I don't know if you're a part of the channel or if you're new or whatever, but I guess that's a formality. But if you wasn't, you would know that we don't just do one coin. You know, I had to lay off Nichols because something weird happened and I couldn't, there wasn't much I could do about it. And I had to, wait for, to get some mixed sal instead of just straight of 1 year. And, it wasn't nothing special, but I did come across something like that, but the polar opposite. And I think I'm going to have to look out a little bit for everybody and not drag out the way the mint was, because I didn't think I would have the opportunity that I came across. 72 little D, little Denver Dunton. He said, "What in the holy grail, man? We love doing nickels. Nickels are really fun to do. Very, very fun." Just like dimes, we did our first, we did a box earlier this year, but we just did our second official boxing. It'll be done. It's pretty much almost done. We have one roll left from it, and we found some decent stuff in there too. Some nice airs. Unfortunately, a Mercury dime, but the historic value outweighs anything else because we're not looking for stuff like that. But we wanted to get a couple of the new dimes, so I have a little idea, because there's some weird stuff going on. I don't know if it's happening with the nickels too. I mean, with the dimes. I know it's happening with the 50-cent pieces, because I have boxes of the Endurings like uncirculated that have to go, and I noticed that you can get them right from the mint for a certain price, or you can get them for a marked up price on the internet, or you come across somebody give them to you cheaper than both if looking. Oh, is that another Denver? Yep. Good old Denver Dunton. $24s though. 3 boxes ago we got 2 dozen $24s, and the last 2.5 boxes we've gotten 3 or 4, I think. All your 24s, keep them. I don't care if they're messed up. 86. What is that? Yeah, it's a Philly. Oh, damn Philly. Just like, we just did our very first box of pennies ever. For me, for everybody. Because I've never did it if I wasn't on here, and I wasn't doing them to begin with, so just really hard to get a hold of them. So just gotta, I've been trying to stockpile boxes because pennies take a lot longer to go through. I didn't realize that till we started doing it, because there's 50 pennies in every roll. That's actually one of them good problems. But yeah, I'm able to get a box a week unless I can find somebody else help me grab them up. But all your pennies, keep them. I don't care. Keep them all. And before you know it, next year they're trying to make a new variant of the nickel. And it's crazy because I'm not trying to talk shit, but if you look at the brand new one, they didn't do too much of an upgrade. Whoever was in charge of this was a little lazy. They're like, okay, well let's just put a double date above it and go okay, and that's exactly what they did. So this new one they're going to be doing, I don't know, is I guess supposed to have a complete change. But the reason they're doing that is because they're going to slowly start fading out the nickels and stop making them like they did with the pennies. That's why they're doing that this coming year. Because you're probably like, well, they just made a new one this year. Yeah, that was for this centennial thing. But they had plans to do what they're going to be doing anyways, so ain't no getting around it. What was that? Double D? What is that? Little P, 82 little P. Yeah. I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm not ignoring anybody, but I gotta get that thing to where when somebody, so I can hear because I can't see and do this at the same time. 76 double D, filled in D. Without the bag looking any decent. So you always want to vet through every coin. Yeah, they've been making those in mass production for a month or two now, and yeah, that's inevitable. Uh, just like he's made a $250 bill, but to actually get it in the Congress, he's got to do all sorts of stuff, including making everybody agree to change federal law because, back a while back, they were using big denomination bills that were way bigger than that, like $500 bills, $1,000 bills, $5,000 bills, 10,000, 100,000, and they had to quit that. They didn't make a lot of them, but it didn't matter. It was very problematic. Not all of them. He's having he as we speak. Like I told you, it's being made as we're talking, and it's been being made for a little over a month now. Mass production. The new dollar, coin dollar, it's supposed to be like a gold dollar. It's got him on it. Not no, they're not converting every coin. That wouldn't make no sense. It's bad enough that we ain't had a president till now that's going to be alive on the currency. I mean, that's just a little, I don't know. Whatever floats the boat. It's a D done to that. Whatever floats the boat. We're going to do these last little bit of dimes. It's just a dollar coin he's going to be on, and it's going to be in circulation. But they're not putting him on everything. He made a $250 bill his face is on too, and if he gets his way, it'll be put out. You'll be seeing that, and then you'll have paper that has a live president on it. Tell you what, see that's like when that's why we're gonna sit this here because we start seeing them double big boys. That's one of the funnest things with these guys, and we found some nice airs when it comes to these. Nice little airs. I not like to do these. These were my arch enemy because they're so damn small and they like to elude capture. But I've been able to make them behave. No, they're not replacing any president. They're just making a whole new coin with his face on it. That's all. Hold on. But yeah, I'm hoping because I only got one. I think I got one box of dimes. I still got to grab. I'm hoping that we can at least get one or two others so we can put it in the book. Oh, that's a new one. 92. Well, welcome to the channel. Post it to the channel's page. We would love to see that. Don't get rid of it. The fuck? No, I thought it was a double. I'm trying to look. Um, you'll go to this. You'll go to the page, the channel that you're on right now, and you can go to the post and you can upload. You can upload your posts there. I believe that's how you do it. I mean, other people do it. That, or you can, yeah, that's the best thing that I can say. Gotcha. Are silver dollars. You're talking. Ooh, this is a tone. A little bit of tone. Ooh, this is a doubler. Double that. We're gonna check that out. Oh, hold on here. You said silver dollars. So you talking like, because you're talking like old stuff, like peace dollars and Morgans, because the closest thing we have to a silver dollar that's close to us is like Susan B. Anthony, and that really a lot of people don't even know about them. When we were going through dollar coins one day, I was able to find, we hit it hard that night. Two proofs in immaculate condition of Susan B. Anthony ones. Or are you talking Eisenhower's? Or, like, I don't know. There's so many different, so, Morgans. Okay, yeah, if you have any from, uh, if you have any from New Orleans or Carson City, those are really really low mint run, which makes them rare. Just because they didn't have a lot of, they didn't have the amount of metal they needed at that time. So yeah, that helped out a lot. Just like back in those days, sometimes you had San Francisco making some of the circulation strikes. They tend to do that a lot, or they did back then. Mm. Well, if they tell you they have no value, right to your face, because you're not doing this over Zoom call while he's giving himself a latte enema or something. Uh, if you're right there face to face with him, you eye contact and shake his hand, and he tells you they're not worth anything, but then in the other hand, he tells you he wants them. There's something wrong there. That should be a clear indication that you just tuck tail and run and move it, do a U-turn and move it like you're in fast forward. Because yeah, he's trying to get you. Uh, if you have if you have something that you think is worth, what you need to do is send it to a grading company, because the minute you do that, it's certified and registered, and then it is something, and nobody can sit there and argue it. They can until they're blue in the face, but it's not going to change a fucking thing. Facts are facts. And yeah, because once things are certified, there's no room for interpretation or speculation. It don't matter. Somebody in their feelings like, I still don't believe. That's on them. They probably don't believe they're alive. That's why they look in the mirror and they can't see themselves. But yeah, that's what I would do. I wouldn't go to no damn coin shop. If you want to go to a coin shop, and if you make sure your shit's already vetted and graded, because then they can't play with you, and they're gonna most likely know that you have a brain of some sorts, and you're not gonna sit there and go, oh, I just want this for it or that for it, because it might be something that's, moving mountains or something that somebody every day doesn't normally see. So yeah, I wouldn't. Like I said, if they're telling you that, that's like saying it's red, but go through the light. You know what I'm saying? Like there's something seriously wrong. So yeah, and they can be deceiving like that, but how I would figure that out is like tests. I would just go in there and do a trial run, and I would just act dumb and be like, you know, what can I get for this? And that's how you bait the hook. And, you'll know when they're gonna bite because they're gonna tell you one thing, and then the minute they tell you that, they're already locked into a story like an alibi. So if they start switching prices, especially going up, 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 especially the more they think that they already have it, even though they don't, and then you're on your way out the door with it, and they keep trying to stop you and build a rapport with you in the next conversation as well. Instead of 100, I'll give you 3. Then you're fucking 10 feet from the door. I'll give you 6. You got the door open. Hey, come back in, close the door. Man, I'll give you 1,400 for it right now. If he like, that's the type of stuff that does go down. And for people who actually need the money or whatever, they fall victim to it. But you get what you give. Karma's real. So, but yeah, I wouldn't be quick to go in and yeah, that would you just never know. He just NFIFC shiny, but he had Denver didn't it? Oh, most definitely. And then once you do that and you see what you got, start taking key specimens in to get graded. Okay, we got a couple older ones now. I'm gonna flip up this, guys. Um, got a 67 and a 72. I like the older ones. I don't know. Sometimes you find a lot more going on with them than the newer ones, but it's arbitrary. This one seems like it's worn out a bit. It looks like there just might be a little bit of a die breaking, but no fuss, no muss. But look, this is like what your standard one look like. Well, not even like that. Let me find. Where's another one that's small like that? I'm not. That would probably be like your standard, but look, you put that up there. That'd be like your double die. And sometimes it's not on both sides. Sometimes it's only on one side. Sometimes it's just a few of the. It doesn't have to be the whole rip or the whole shebang. If you see anywhere, it's that. But if you compare, you can totally see. This one's trying to be large in charge, while this one's, just trying to hide in plain sight. But we found ones that make this look like that. I mean, it's just crazy. But yeah, that's like the funnest thing with dimes is looking for like airs and double dies. Yeah, you know what? The more recon and research you do, the more vetting you do of your coins, the more knowledge you'll be instilled in. And don't be in a rush either. This is something that takes a lot of patience, restraint, impulse control. So if you're already on that avenue, then you'll be fine. And I feel like you are because of what you said earlier. You're like, I have a whole bunch of these coins, starting to go through them. So I feel like you're already there. You're on standby. Hey, I don't ponder about you. I know you keep one in the chamber too. Well, if I play around, they're not even gonna hear the hammer drop, let alone flash a light. So yeah, you prepared to perform, I'd have to say. And you know what they say. Some people tend to focus under pressure, some people tend to fold. But that's how it is. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. And sometimes that's what coins do. They sit waiting to be awoken from internal slumber to make its mark on the world because it's a mystery until everybody knows what it is and it ain't and it's moving mountains. Then it's history. The minute that you get it graded, it's registered and it's history. And depending on what it is, eh, No. No, 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 no. I don't care if you're one of the chief engraver, great great grandsons of the chief engravers. This ain't real money. We created this just like time. True currency's credibility, reputation, and leverage. So we'll lead off with that because you ain't taking this with you when you go. All that other stuff, that shit echoes through eternity depending on how you want it to. As long as fate permits it to be so. With this, yeah, okay. That'd be like me going outside and getting a whole bundle of sticks and bundling up sticks and convincing everybody around here that sticks is money. Well, isn't that something? I'm so flattered that you take time out of your precious life that you can't get back to be on here worrying about me. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks for diluting yourself like a chump, but you're helping us trend. Thank you. Yeah, I can't imagine being you either because I'm not built like you. I think your mother fed you paint chips as a child or drank while you was in the womb. Either or, we're busy here. You got to go. We're going to stay here. Then, oh, subscribe. Okay. Okay. Well, hey, guess what? In 24 hours, slap that sun gun on there. I'm eager to see. And welcome to the channel. Well, don't go to a coin shop and don't go to a pawn shop. I mean, I really don't want to be the one to give you this because are you in desperate need of money or something? Or you just don't want them around anymore? I'm taking it you do want to get rid of them, so I guess even though you don't want to give me, the respect I just gave you, and unless you got the delayed reaction effect, I'm trying to ask you that you obviously you need something for them. What the hell's going on? That's just a dirty 74. Yeah, nothing special about that, my man. Ooh, 46er. You just want to know? Then yeah, you don't want to go up in there nowhere. Get yourself a book. If you want, post some of them on here. But yeah, I'd get yourself a book. Don't use no scanning apps. Nice 46, no mint mark though. 1 year after the war. Love them old ones though. Oh, no, 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 no. I'll never use Whatnot. I'm sorry. I feel sorry for all the innocent people that are using it. There's so much scams going on out there. I am not. To me, Whatnot is like exactly what it says. What not to do. And this is it. No, I do actually have coins that need to be get rid of, and it, so, but I'm not using Whatnot. Hey, you got to start somewhere. Sometimes you got to break a couple eggs to make an omelet. You know what I'm saying? No, it just sucks. There's so many scams going on there, and like I said, for the people who are not pulling scams, they're the ones who are getting thrown under the bus because it affects everybody as a whole. The image of it, all that, God forbid they start making new rules that has to apply to everybody. So the ones that ain't doing it or being subjected to it, they got to go through those rations of thrashings. Now, there's nothing special about this 1988, but I like that it's a little toned out. It's missing a bit of its clad on each end. I like ones that all hot and bound look like they messed up. Why? Maybe you should look it up. It's one very special year. It was the only year where they made under 10% of their average circulation. Average, is between Philly and Denver, close to 400 million. I think they did under 40 million for 2024 for Phillies and Denver. So they're very, very rare. And because of how many it was made, and it wasn't a lot, that's what makes them a rarity. And they're very sought out. I mean, it's common knowledge. But yeah, you're 24. It don't matter. Keep them all of them. They just did not make a lot of them. Why do you think? Why do you think that the last hunt we had, we got? I think we got 3 or 4. We were lucky. I don't know if they illustrated that, but they had to have other pressing issues. Maybe it was, they didn't have this, they didn't have that. You just never know. Maybe somebody was just fucking lazy and made up an excuse and lied to their boss, and they were just like, well, I don't know. I just know that 24, and like there ain't another year from 50 years back or up to now, which ain't, too much. 61. Do we have ourselves? Is it going to be Denver? No mint mark. Ooh, they trying to get us with that. It's just a smart thing to keep them all. They're highly sought out after just because of their rarity. Oh yeah, we all got to get some coins graded here. After I'm done with this row, I'm going to show you my very first error that got me into looking for errors. And errors is the bread and butter. The bread and butter of coins. A lot of people don't know that. So I try to illustrate that, get you guys in. Okay, we got a nice 61. Oh, D, Denver Denton. Yeah, I didn't think we were going to get lucky like yesterday. Fucking 38, 1938, proof. Ooh. Yeah, we said 52, proof. Ooh. It's a clean 75, but no man. All right, guys, before we go any further, I'm going to show you my first official error that I found. And like I said, it's anybody who knows their coins knows when I show this to them that they're going to know it's an error. But the thing is, it's not. I could take it to a coin shop and, they're going to tell me, yeah, it's an error. But you're not going to get what you should get unless you go get it certified, which is grading. I call it the Jekyll and Hyde coin, but back is perfect. Right? Front. The dies and the planchets were not fucking behaving. I'm going to put it on the x-ray spectator. Like I said, the bag's fine. I think that's why I made it through. Yeah. That was my first error. And I knew when I come across it, it was an error. And, other people, confirmed it for me. And then it didn't matter. I knew it was. Because this happens all the time, but it's not something they let have in a mass production scale. They can't control what's going on, but if they catch it early enough, they can. But yeah, this is what you would call an error. Like if somebody argues this is not an error, then they're gonna argue that the sun's hot and that death is life and life is death. They're gonna be asked backwards. But yeah, this was my very first error. This is what got me looking for errors on every damn coin. Because anything can happen. And that's why I said when it comes to errors, it's the bread and butter. Just for the sole fact is, when it comes to any other singular aspect of any coin of any denomination, everything is very straightforward and simple. And you hit a wall very quick because it doesn't have a big repertoire. When it comes to errors, it has an unlimited in its repertoire. Like, it's got an unlimited amount of ammunition in its repertoire. You can't control how those machines are going to be. So sometimes they start running bad when the dies and the planchets start wearing out, and let's say they're being forced to work overtime and they're not replacing them, that's when you start getting ones that look all messed up, or too much grease when it's being greased and get trapped in between there. There's a million different things, magnitude of things, at a geometrical rate that could happen, and that's the essence about Arabs. It's going to continue to happen as long as they continue to make coins. That's why when they quit making coins, it becomes just like with an air itself. It's not your average coin, so it's unique in its own right. So getting engraded is making it you're pretty much planting the flag for it. Yeah, yeah. We got a penny, not that one, but some of the old stuff we got. You know, penny with King George on it. Got one of the woman heroes on it sitting there holding the shield and a trident. This one's a pretty worn out, but we got this in a 50 cent while we're doing Kennedy hunts. Yeah, it's 1915, but you want to see what really was the Gobstomper? It's pretty much the flag, the battle standard of the channel, right here. Meet Napoleon the third of his name, essentially his grandson, but not by blood, but King of the Andals and the First Man, King of the Cannons, King of the Ice Cream, King of Pride. 17th century, yeah. Couldn't believe when that happened. That happened on a beautiful day. Beautiful, beautiful day. Yeah, 1856. Gotta love it. What? Oh, you're a Virgo. Yeah, that was actually an ender. And when I open up the box, because I used to open up the boxes right in front of everybody, but I can't do it anymore. Otherwise, I'll be asking for a disaster because it's very problematic where I'm doing my stuff and I make everything collapse like Jenga. And but when I open it, it was an ender in a corner box of Kennedy's, and I kept glancing at it, but I couldn't see it, and I was joking about it being gotcha. I was just saying I'm September. Then. I'm Virgo, but I kept playing. I thought it was the Chuck E. Cheese coin to get me to the back room to fight the final boss. And then, I grabbed it. And I'm looking at it without like peeling. I mean, you could watch the live and see it, but like I'm like, and I'm looking at it, and at first I'm starting to glance a little more, and then I'm seeing Napoleon, and then I set it down, and I do a few more rolls, and then I got everybody like on my ass about it. Like I'm like, then I go to glance at it, and I see Emperor. I'm like, what the fuck? This ain't gonna help me at Chunky Cheeses. And then yeah. Oh yeah, that was crazy when that happened. That was crazy. Yeah, thank you. And what's even more nuts about that whole situation is, um, that's a bronze strike. They made them in silver and gold strikes too. Imagine if we would have got one of those. Oh look, I think we got ourselves a die clash. Die break. Yeah, we do. We got an official die break, guys. Look at this. That is not post mintage. You see what I'm looking at? Yeah. Yeah, if it would have been a silver or a gold one, oh yeah, I would have had to shut shit. I was a little scared when I got a hold of it anyways. Uh, but if we got one of those, I had to get it graded and call the museum or somebody because that's the type of shit that move mountain. But yeah, you see that, guys? That's what you would call a die break, like a simple die break. And case in point, one of our fresh die break airs, die crack, whatever you want to call it, we found in dimes. I'll show you right here. But yeah, this right here is official air just because of that. But it's not official unless you send in and get graded. But we know it's right here though. Goes behind the pummel. Starts back out right here. I have no idea. Those I'm not. I don't think anything big and special, but the silver and gold ones though that commanded a lot of the attention. Oh yeah, it would have brought the hit parade out. But yeah, when you guys find stuff like this going on, don't count it out. Don't write it off. That's an error. That's stuff that happens during the minting process. And that's what makes it very unique in its own way. And that's why, heirs are, people love heirs. Never say never. This was your first time. I'm taking it if you have it. It's graded and certified. Because if you say no, I would think it's very unrealistic. And if it ain't, post it to the channel. Proof's in the pudding. I can't call you a liar, but too many people come on here throwing caution to the wind. Not saying you're doing it. If you're not, then whatever I'm saying that doesn't apply. That's just all there is to it. My biggest hit, to me, honestly, that Napoleon coin, because I'm not about. Most people, they're looking for something that's gonna like, I don't know how to explain this, but I said it before. This is not true currency, and if you notice how life is right now, you see how it's really keeping us down. Like everything is just so expensive, and it's like that's not true currency. So like I understand why everyone wants money, but like you might as well just say Play-Doh when it comes to that stuff, because a lot of people do this out of passion. Like most of us are on here for the anticipation, suspense, the glory, the action, the thrill of the hunt. If we find something that we know that can, turn something into magic, then we'll do it. But my personal one is that, and I can show you a few more after. 56, Denver Duntadunt. But it doesn't stop you from finding a coin, and then it become, we know what they say: one person's trash is another man's treasure. So, I would not judge a book by its cover when it comes to any coin, because you could have a coin that you would think is not worth the pot to piss in a window to throw it out of, and you find out it ain't. Yeah, I feel you. Uh, my biggest, I'd really have to say it's that. But if you want to go by rarity, like polls, I'd have to say, man, we hit a lot of West Points. More, I mean, we just set the record for the twice. I mean, we just hit our record for the most West Points found in a hunt, and that was 4. And a lot of times we end up finding the 4th one we had was found in the recycle thing, because the coins are gone through and vetted even after alive. So, by the way, here I'll show you what my second favorite. And mind you, this is not a silver hunting channel. There's too much of that going on. There's more in life than just silver, especially in coins. There's no reason to be a simple Simon or Sally and dilute the situation. So, like I told you guys, everybody that knows is common knowledge, we love to exclusively look for stuff, NIFCs, non-intended for circulation. When it comes to Kennedys and gold piece, dollar Sacagaweas, it's very epic, because a lot of those were exclusively made not for circulation. Right here. This 2011 Proof Silver Clad. This is an NIFC. because your standard proofs have a bond, have a copper core. Mind, give me 1 second so I can. Well, I think I might just have one right here. Yeah, I can fix the situation right here with us. Yep, I ain't gotta go far. My bad, guys. Your standard ones. Here, I'll put it under the thing. You can see it. Can you see it? You could see the copper core in it, right? Hold on. I even got to pull these out. I have a whole bunch of, the last time we did these, we found like 5 or 6 proofs, and I think I have them right here. Yep. And here, I'm going to show you something. Here we go. This is easy. Because we found 71 proofs and stuff. Your standard proof, 2006, here we go. What we got? Oh, 5. Yeah, this is just from one hunt. This is from our last hunt. This was an 81 that we tossed in here. And then it got pulled back out because we just didn't see it because it was all oxidizing and stuff. But if you notice, your standard proofs are copper core, and then nickel alloy. So, I mean, even though this is not intended for circulation, this has no silver value. But what they did do is they made silver clad strikes of the business strikes and the proofs. And this right here is the 2011 version of a silver-clad proof. And I don't know if you guys know the difference between a proof and a business strike, but if you can tell, like I was showing you, they look the same. They depict the same, but when you look at them, so these right here were exclusively not intended for circulation. And this is, I think the mint run on this is 450 or 60,000. That's not a lot, especially for 2011. Nah, this is a 50-cent piece. This is a 50-cent piece. We're looking at Kennedy. Somebody brought up, I was trying to explain to them that, these are not intended for circulation either, but your standard proof wasn't made of silver. Copper core bonded with, nickel alloy. But they did make special ones like these. And you would know if you got one because it's like this. And yeah, these are very, very special. Just not because they're silver, because they're not a lot of them made. And we've pulled 2 so far. We pulled 1 of these and then a business strike version of a 64, which was epic as hell. Yeah, this ain't normal circulation strike. Not at all. Because we find, like I said, when we go through camp, we're looking for NIFCs. We don't give a shit about 1964 and all that other shit because we're not looking for silver. So we don't give a shit about any of that. We don't. We never have and we never will. There's more in life than silver. So, but like, if you notice, it's not looking like a proof. It's looking like a business strike. But that's what they did. And they didn't make a lot of these either. You got to remember, back then, the composition was silver. So all the old ones that we come across, or people that have silver hunting channels, that that's all they want. That stuff was intended for circulation. That's why we don't really give a shit about it. I mean, hey, if it ain't broke, we're not fixing it. But you know what I'm saying? We use it for the war effort. But yeah, we end up finding some 71 proofs too. And this was all in the same blow. These were all in the same live right here. They just haven't been able to get placed yet. I've just been so busy with, provisions of labor. But yeah. But like I said, sometimes you got to look because you can find a proof that is pure black or a business strike. But that doesn't mean that it ain't what it is just because it looks in. That's why you don't ever want to judge a book by its cover. But yeah, these are all exclusively not intended for circulation and very special. And certain years, even with these, they made very low ones. Even the Philly and Denvers of 87, those are all NIFCs. And then from 2002 all the way to 2020, even the Philly and Denver ones are all NIFCs, which means you should keep them. And they didn't have a high mint run either. Few million here, few million there. That's it. Not tens of millions. So, yeah. All the other years, though, if you look at them, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions. So, you got to take that stuff in consideration, guys. Just like this. This was a good find. Bicentennial. A bicentennial business strike. Fucking loved it. This was one of our major hits. Yeah, but right out of a roll, you know. So, you know, if you don't try, you'll never know. No risk, no reward. Chances make champions. In for a penny, in for a pound. Yeah, we try to do our best. We try to aim to please around here. That's why we all do it together. There's no I in team, because I don't do this personally in the darkness, in the twilight of my life. When I started doing it, started doing it on here with you. Yeah, I collected money and stuff, but I never went through roles until I started doing it on here with y'all. And, you know, when I started thinking about it, I didn't want to be selfish. I would rather share it with y'all, and we all coincide and bond together in harmony. Absent all the negativity in this world, eradicated all that negligence and insolence and competence with some fucking bliss and benevolence. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's just how it's got to go. Well, welcome to the channel, big guy. Like these. Don't pass these up. It might be nothing, or it could be something. And don't clean them either. I don't care how much you might want to clean a coin. Do yourself a favor and just don't do it. Because when you do it, no matter what's going on with it, you're actually taking away any of the original coating it did have. So you're going to degrade it. Now, if you've already done it to things, don't take your eye out with a knitting needle or pop your eye out with a grapefruit spoon. Don't do it. Just refrain from doing it. I'm actually going to be starting to sell some. I have really, you know, so much stuff to do and not enough time. Yeah, I plan on it's inevitable. It's going to be happening. It should have already been happening, but yes. And I honestly haven't something unexpected that happened that exactly. And that's another thing that's problematic with me. I'm going to be going back off of my FMLA leave here soon, and I'm happy about it, but I'm going to have to change things up. It's always going to be early morning, most likely. But I'll make sure I still get on. But yeah, you don't want to look too hard either. You're looking for one little thing. That's why you want to go through your coins again, because you might find something you didn't find the first time around. It's almost like when you watch a movie for the first time and you loved it because you're watching so hard. Then you go to watch it again and you're like, I don't remember that, because you were so into it. You were in the zone. Yeah, I'm gonna try to make something go. I'm gonna try to make something happen, because between a lot of epic finds we get, and then like me starting to hone my craft with the airs with y'all, yeah, it needs to happen, because if you want something to actually be certified, so you know, and actually be real, like this is it. Like y'all know when I pulled that first air, my very first air, we all know it's an air, and if you don't, then whatever. But you know, like I said, if you go into somebody coin shop, guy's 80 years old, he's had this coin shop 52 years. He'll tell you nice air, but if you're trying to get something special out of it, he's going to tell you maybe you should go get it graded, because it's, you know, that's just how it be. That's just how you truly have it certified, because when you send it in and get it back, it's going to say right on it, air. And it's going to say what the air is. And then there might be something else on that coin that you didn't know about. They're going to put that on there too. And God forbid if you have something that's like the new world's going to help reshape the fucking world, they're going to try to solicit you for that coin to sell it at a private or public auction. That's when you should just go, yeah, let me think about it. Ooh, we got our second NIFC, guys. Another 70 proof. Remember last night, Purple Rain, that dirty one? That real dirty one we had? Well, this looks like the purple monster took a shit on him. I don't know what that is. I'm not worried about it right now, but yeah, we got a 70 proof right here. So that's number 2, if I'm not mistaken. Number 2, guys. How's the back look? Not bad, not bad. I've seen worse. Like, you'll never. No, and I never set out to look for them ever. And we go through quarters like crazy. For about 2 months straight, we were going through, I don't know, 8 boxes of quarters a week, maybe more, on top of 50-cent pieces and dollar pieces. I mean, we were going crazy. No, we weren't ever looking for them, and I'm going to tell you why. Because they didn't appropriately disperse them throughout the United States the way they should. Case being, 2 days, the second day after they released them, some guy got a box of quarters, and almost 70% of the whole box was all the July 4th ones. There's only 250,000 of them made. The minute that happened, nobody really had a chance. And I wasn't distraught from, but that right there made, yeah, I threw in the towel. Like, that's getting taken off the bucket list. Like, if it happens, it happens. It's fate. But I'm not chasing that damn thing. If I wanted one, I could have had one already. Because of that guy. Because, he started selling mass quantities. Like I said, the dude could have fucking retired. But just like somebody last week found 20 in 10 rolls. So, you see what I'm saying? They're not being properly dispersed. It's not something I'm going to hunt for. No. Just not going to do it. After hearing that, it's really discouraging because you gotta think about something. West Points, they only make 2 million of each one, and there's 5 variants of them, and they only made them like 2 years, 2019 and 2020, and there's only 2 million each. That's not a lot. That's not a lot at all. So imagine a 250,000, and then right off the rip, somebody gets a guy, like, just carves his own piece of his pie out inadvertently. That doesn't help anybody that's out hunting for him. That doesn't do any justice for anybody. If anything, it's like building on quicksand. It's like rubbing one out with a cheese grater. Nothing good's going to come of it. At this point, you better have Loomis bring you a whole armored truck completely full of quarters if you want to have half of a chance. Well, it made front page in the news everywhere when it happened. I mean, the guy was everywhere. The guy thought he was the next best thing than baked fucking bread, and I could see why. But what I'm trying to tell you is, the minute that happened, the odds were already astronomically low. When that happened, the odds became non-existent. That's just all there is to it. 76 little D, nothing special about it. So, like, if we do come across one, so be it. So be it. But I'm not. It's not going to do nothing. But, like, I told you, we come a lot of West Points. And it's, the hardest thing that, 50, nice little 59. Denver done to that. Well, we love our 59s. Gotta keep all the old ones. Oh, completely. And you want to know what's crazy? The first one that got remember how they had that thing? Oh, the first person who can bring one, they get that big amount. Well, that happened, and then on top of it, the same person was able to be the first one to officially have one graded. Well, that person was somebody who worked at the Mint. Isn't that a daisy? When you hear those type of things, it just makes you want to do what you're doing. Just act like that just didn't happen, because it don't help nothing. I'm gonna tell you this right now. If I worked in the fucking Mint, I would not be doing shit like that. And if, let's say, I was going to be a dry gulchin, I sure as hell wouldn't be a dumbass and do it myself. Everybody knows somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. I would have had Coxswain and Paco Rabanne going for me. 1964. Ooh, I thought we had ourselves. But no, I do have somewhat of a treat, though, that I do want to talk about. I wanted to talk about it with some other people first so I could get some logistics going, but '61. That's another Denver Dun-Dun-Dun, ain't it? It is. Oh, well, we still need them. What are you looking for? We're looking for the Loch Ness Monster, the Jersey Devil, and Jimmy Hoffa. And whoever was the one who started the Chicago fire and brought down the Hindenburg and everything else. Let me guess. Are you the person they sent? Did they convince you that you're the new person who's setting the world's hair on fire? I hope you don't think you were in charge of setting the world's hair on fire. I'm from the city where they show no pity and pop out late like vampires. No, I didn't say that. Oh, so you're all hot and bothered, huh? There's no reason to. Put some ice on it. Let it cool down, behave. If you're curious, like the cats, so be it. That's fine. But most people come on here demanding. Nobody demands. You suggest. You're not demanding. I'm just saying. You'd be very surprised. A lot of people are so bored with life, they want new challenges. Some of them jump off cliffs and want to die. That's why. Some people are so entitled, they act like the world owes them. We're looking for stuff that's exclusively not intended for circulation. Errors. New stuff that's popped up that we need to fill the void. Just whatever floats the boat. That's all. No fuss, no muss. Yeah, because you're not being held at a gunpoint and you're not chained to an organ grinder. You do have free will, right? See, this is the thing, because how I was brought up. I'm just brutally realistic about every situation because you get a lot of people who come on here and they want to get cute. And we're talking straight like coward stuff. Like, oh, like I had somebody one day and he didn't care. He proudly admitted it. I'm a lazy piece of shit who hides down in my parents' basement vegetating, and I hop from lives all day trying to crash channels out. Well, guess what? He must be surfing absent surfboard because he didn't help me. He didn't help himself. When people come on starting shit, all they do is help me trend. And then they're wasting their precious time in the existence we call our lives that they can never get back. So if you come around here to start shit and not to behave, oh, you're really off to a bad start. But if you are behaving, then everything I'm saying does not apply. That's just all there is to it. Denver Dun-Dun-Dun. Oh, I know. And that's the thing. These are the type of people that can't go outside because they'd meet with an accident real quick. If they're doing that, imagine they're fucking Gumbies by default. You stick them in hey, let's say they had one night had to dry out in the drunk tank. You put him in a drunk tank with a gummy bear, by default, the gummy bear is going to win. No, because anybody can do that stupid cowardly shit. But what are you going to do, God forbid, when that karma comes back and gets you? Because it will get right with you. I don't care who you are. Nobody's no better than the next person. You want to lower yourself and be trash? Hey, It's so easy to do the wrong thing. Living with it's the hard part. So go ahead. Just remember, you get what you give. Number two. Yeah, but you can't tell nobody that because they look at you like you crazy and they in denial, like their head in the ground like a fucking ostrich. I love it because I love when people come on here wanting to start shit. You want to know why? Because it's exactly what I told you. And then when I say it to them, they're never ready for it. Never, never ready. And you want to know? I like it. It doesn't happen all the time, but when it does happen, it lets me know that I'm doing something right. Because nothing gets in the way of progress, but nothing good in life comes easy. But for somebody to be all hot and bothered about little old us doing what we're going to continue to do, regardless of what the fuck they were doing before, then, and after, you see what I'm saying? I'm flattered. But my biggest question is, what are you going to have to show for it except some kind of fucking mind gag reel unless you're miserable, because misery loves company, and we're not staying a minute. But what are you going to have to show for it? Because you don't get none of that time back. So yet again, what are you on here? What are you on here wasting your precious time for if you're not on here to do what we're all doing? And they don't know what to do with it. Save the manatees! Ooh. That's number 3 or 4, guys. This is exclusively what we like to look for. Ooh. Yeah. NIFC, baby. Exactly. I can't. Woo. Oh, yeah. This one's tested at the same time. Oh. But, we're all destined for great and unfortunate things. And, I'll tell you this right now. It started very young with me. Yeah. You're all. Ooh, here. We'll pull it back in instant replay for you. Yeah, you want more? That's how you do it. Yeah. We like to break necks and backs up in here. We tear the concrete up with our feet. Okay, you're welcome to gratitude. The fumes neutral. Ooh. Well, you know what? Life's a gamble to begin with. And it is. I mean, you don't want me to break that down. Just like a lot of people think this is morbid, but like I told you, I just brutally realistic with the situation because things started happening real crazy to me very, very, very young. Life's nothing but a fucking serious distraction till we go. So, take a lick and keep on ticking. Hit the ground running, don't look back. But yeah, let me show you guys my second before we broke my second official air. And it was a nickel too. And that's why I always have them out so you guys can see. And it's going to get graded too. But like, this could happen to any coin, and it has happened to any coin. Right here, guys. This is what I call a compound error. A compound error is when you got 2 or more types of errors going on a coin. I'm going to put it under the x-ray specs for you. You can see through a wall like you're taking a shit in the stall. There you go. This was my second official error that I knew it was an error for sharing. There was no getting around it. It was inevitable, like dying or the sun coming up. It just had to be so. You got to remember, I love my manatees. I'll be saving manatees. I'm stuck on saving manatees. But yeah, this is the front. And if you notice, die breaks and planche air, but like right here, you can't see it that much, but if you look right behind his hairline, you can see part of the other side of the coin faintly coming up. That's That's die clash. On this end, though, you can see, you know, almost like the same thing going on. A lot of different stuff, but you know, this is what happens when the machines don't behave. And why would a machine behave? You can't reason with a fucking machine. It's not got, it ain't got blood and bone and pools of meat. It's made of metal. You can't, you know, can't fucking reason with it. You can't argue with it. It has no empathy, remorse, fear. It just doesn't give a shit. As it shouldn't. But yeah, this was my second one. And this one's going to be getting graded too. But I thought this was epic too. I couldn't believe when I found it. Like I said. And it's got a filled in D. It's looking like a double die too. So I feel like there might be 3 different airs going on here. Because if you look... Well, what does that tell you? That'll help put some pep in the step. You're damn right. You got better. Yeah, you'll get more fucking reception talking to a wall. I'm serious. At least if you want to fucking be comical about it, you punch a hole in the wall, then it's got a mouth. And you talk back. But yeah, I want to, I have something going on, and I have to, console with, a few of my cohorts, but, I had something happen, and I feel like we all could take advantage of it a little bit, and everybody don't have to get dry gulch, God forbid, if they wanted them, and they were going to get them from the natural source, because I didn't ask for them all, but there's no way that I'm just going to go, whoa! I'm not doing it. Well, that's the thing, yeah. And I'm going to tell you this right now, man, like, I would already had all that stuff going, but like I told you, I've been out on FMLA leave, which obviously, you know, when it comes to mothers, all bets are off, and it's like shit is, you know, it's trying to come to a halt. But I'm still gonna be taking care of my mom. Just there was a lot of fucked up shit going on. So I had to have surgery, and then I had to pretty much live at the rehabilitation center, and you know, so nobody would do anything because those places are death houses. If you ain't got nobody coming to see your people, they'll hurt them. They will deprive them of fucking, you know, food and everything, like a plant of water and sun, absent nourishment, and it's not good. I had to pretty much stay there and be up like 3.5, 4 days at a time, sleep 4 hours, have some, you know, like it would, just to make sure nothing would happen. And then, you know, just a lot of shit trying to weather the storm, and it's like everything's starting to come to a, but I try my best. You know, and that's all we can do is try in this existence we call our lives. I need to do something. I've been wanting to start something up. I just don't know where to start with it. I just really don't. But I'm telling you this right now, I'll die. You'll have to lay me at your fucking feet. I'll never use Whatnot. You'll have to lay me at your feet. No, I don't even bring up Whatnot again, and I'm not mad about it. It's just you ain't changing my mind. There ain't no reason to mean we on that one. I'll go down like the fucking Titanic, absent iceberg over that shit. Like if I say that's how it's gonna be, that's how it's gonna be. I don't care which way is getting like I say. You want that type of reprieve? You're gonna have to find somebody new, but first lay me at your feet. And that's not what I'm looking for. But I'm just saying, like. No Whatnot. No Whatnot. No Whatnot. No, too many people are giving it a bad name. You know? And it, like I said, why do you think I said in the beginning? I said it sucks for the people who are honest on there. Hold on here. You guys seeing that? Is that the way his head's supposed to look? Like somebody fucking put a fucking stogie out on his fucking temple? Yeah, I guess he does have a temple throbbing there. No? The fuck is... That is literally part of the coin. And this is what I'm talking about. How it doesn't behave. Yeah. You see me trying to scrape it off like it's gunk or something. You're damn right. But yeah, here in a little bit, I'm gonna, these brand new ones we come across here and there, right here, fresher than a coat of wet paint, pretty much uncirculated. Uh yeah, I've got untouched rolls somehow fucking dropped in my lap inadvertently because I didn't ask for it. And yeah, every single one of them from one side to the other, fresher than a newborn, clean. Believe me, they're not old and tattered and want to be born again like water lepers. Well, you know what they say. It pays to discover, and I'm not talking MasterCard. You notice how we haven't got a 24 yet? You see how that works? $62. Come on, you. R. Shiver me timbers. DR. Denver, dun dun dun. Man, that 64 is all hot and bothered. He had a mint mark, but he's worn out like a doorknob. Everyone had a turn. It'll be all right. He'll be going to safekeeping. Well, nothing exceeds but excess. Okay, guys. Let me show you another air. Something to, maybe I'll be able to show it to you. Let me check this out. That's not, hold on, hang on. I'm trying to make sure. No. Well, I can't consider that an air. I don't. Where's it at? Where's it at? My bad. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to hold your guys' feet to the fire. Bear with me, please. Okay, yeah. I guess we'll be all right. Everything will be all right. All right, guys. Like with that die break, it's not, the front of the coin's fine. So this, yet again, this ain't a 2019 Philly like that die break, but this is a 2015 Philly. Hey, must be the Phillies. It's not the front you got to worry about, the back. Do you see? Do you see why this is special in its own right? And like I said, some people can't see it because sometimes it's so tiny and minute, you let it pass like second nature. Like, but you don't find this a lot on them. And you see above the fire? You see above the fire? See above this? You see how you can see the shadowing of it, the background of it? Well, yeah, but that's just one thing. I'm talking about what's really spotting out. You see that above there? You see that? See how that's ghosting? It's etched out. You see it a little bit right there? Yeah, well, fortunately for coins, that's not common. So when you find that, that's something that's pretty epic. Like, if anybody ever looked at the Sally Rides, she's got an air called the Ghost Comet. And the Ghost Comet comes behind it, and it looks just like that. There's just a light etching of it that follows behind. So that's the only reason why it stuck out to me, because I was looking at things that had that, but that's a form of like a die clash. But it doesn't happen a lot. So when you find them, you better grab it. I know, it's tiny and minute. The next one I'm going to show you is going to just make you laugh if I can find it. It'll make you'll be like, that's an air. Yeah, that you don't find a lot. So when you find it, those are bigger. Like those are big time errors. Even when it's just a tiny little part, it's enough to make it happen. Two in the heads, one in the bush. Ooh, mysteries abound. Hope you ate your vegetables. Well, we found 4 proofs already. 4 proofs. That's awesome. Commie tripes. Uh-oh. Somebody there got sent up the river. Concrete shoes don't help in the river, buddy. He's all hot and torn. He needs to get fixed up. Looks like stir-fried shit. And like if you really want to practice, like another thing you can do is because when we go through coins like this, there's no such thing as a perfect coin. I'm dropping errors in here all the time. It's because we can't sit here and vet through every little coin with a scope and go, yeah, because we'd be here until hell froze over. And you know, to me, it doesn't matter. Like I lose a sense of time when I'm doing this, but you know, when you got things going on, you gotta, you know, when responsibilities and obligations, the provisions of labor really know how to kick ass. But like for instance, you could get together like all the 2022 ones, and then look at them all separately by themselves. And like I said, I guarantee you'll start seeing certain things like the Liberty might be thicker on this one, and the Goddard Chest are just Liberty, or on the back, you know, compared to other ones, that would probably be a double die. But you know, that's how you do. You want to play process of elimination. Ooh, you're trying to shine and blind at the same time. You're a little too fresh for my blood. $64. Look like a Denver. You damn done to that. 1,000 Denver. 90, 80. Little D. 85p. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying, why I brought it up is just so you know, if you want to start looking for key things, you could, but like it can't. The you know, there's a pro and con to everything. That's the pro. The con is, you know, it could be very problematic because if you don't have X amount set away for, you know, being able to hoard as heirs until found and deemed fit, you just can't hold on to everything, you know, because like I said, there's no such thing as a perfect coin. So you damn right, you'd be holding them all hostage, like you would. Everybody should do with their pennies. Like I said, I got my first box of pennies and did it on here, and I'm keeping every single penny. And you know, we hit hard on that. We hit hard on that box. I never had and there's probably more things in there that I don't realize it because I didn't go through them all yet. I mean, recategorize them and stuff, but I mean, we got over a dozen wheat pennies, a couple Indian heads from the 1800s. And then out of, you know, we even got some good epic heirs. On top of that, a couple of the wheat pennies were 44 proofs. Yeah. We got like 3 or 4 44s in a row, and I thought I was gonna get us a whole mint set. I'm like, damn, we got a San Francisco. Then we got a Denver. I'm like, I seen another 44. I'm like, Philly, Philly. No, it was a San Francisco again. Yeah, so I ended up getting 2 wheat penny proofs in really good shape. So those are posted on the channel. Like every time I do a hunt, in time and fashion, I try to post like what hit, you know, what we found, you know, what was cool. You're a little hot and bothered. Little rusted out on the Cometrite. Yeah, and they're healthy as hell too. I could pull them out after we were just looking through them because we were going through coins last night of what we want, what we should get graded, and then I was gonna make up a pile of coins and post it this coming Monday, and I'm gonna let it stay on till Sunday for a whole week, and I'm gonna let you guys pick some coins out of the piles that we've found together during our hunts to be graded. Like I said, everybody has a voice here, and they're going to be able to use it if you want. That's 4. Not too bad. Like I said, we won't find. But we find a couple 24s, we will. Ooh. 69, little D. Damn. Yeah, that's a D. See, sometimes you get an S over a D, all sorts of weird stuff. You just never know. You don't know till you know. Oh. Damn, Lewis and Clark. What the hell is that? Filled in D. 78. Looking a little... ain't got its rim. Some people like to try to hold everything. 77. Oops. 91p. 81. Ooh. Guess he was trying to get through the x-ray. He had to put some electrical tape on him. Oh, I think you're gonna. I think you will. And I think you will enjoy it. It's very therapeutic. And when you're doing it with other people that, you know, it all coincide in harmony, you know, bonding it. Ooh. You're a little hot and bothered. You better go fix yourself up. But yeah, you're gonna like it. I forgot to put gloves on today, but oh well. It'll wash off. Just don't make it a habit dealing with coins every day like this. You'll get metal poisoning from the exposure. Okay, let me find another nice air for y'all. Show you something else that's crazy. Should have some. Hey, okay. See, I really haven't been like so around with stuff like that, but like I'm trying to find. You know what I can do? I can show you some really unique airs because, like I said, it just bounces around. Where are they at? Not down. Where's some old ones? Some old quarters. Is that it? Maybe, you guys, maybe. Oh no, no, that's not that. Nope, I thought I had them right here. There's just too much stuff sitting around, banging around. Oh well, here's a nice little goofy one. This is this is what you call a grease air. We'll put on the X-ray specs for you. You see that? Almost looks like a fingerprint. Most likely it was. Got caught, you know, too much grease was in there. Somebody touched it, or it was something else, because you could get certain patterns as like a form of a signature from 100 different things: wood, food, metal, plastic, composite. So anything that could get stuck in there while it's being bonded, it'll end up making this weird, you know, imperfections. So, and that's trapped in the coin. That's why it's called a grease air, because it ain't coming out. Some of them you can find are pretty decent and cool looking, but like I said, when it sticks out, you know. Ooh, but yeah, I want to show you guys gotta utilize these in some good way. What do you do when you luck out and you get rolls of, you know, completely uncirculated 26s? Because I'm sure I'm not ripping them all open, but they fresher than the dew. Again and again and again, until the strain's just too much for you to bear. High commodity right now. I don't know what I did to deserve it, but a whole bunch on standby. I figure I'm gonna take some and lift from air, but like, you know, they have some common airs that have came out already, but I wouldn't even know what to look for. But like I said, I'm the first one touching these rolls, but I have all the rest of them all uncirculated and fresh. So, if anybody's looking for any 26s Denvers, I'm your Huckleberry for sure. If anything, that'll help get things going, help with everything else I'm trying to do. But I don't know who needs what. But I wanted to show y'all that because it was unexpected. It's not unfortunate, but it should not happen, because they're going for $40 a fucking roll, or 30 something dollars a roll online, which is sickening. I don't care if it was going for $400 a roll. That's not cool. All right, let's finish this up, guys. 2 hours. Is that a double D? Why is that? Oh, I guess it's just a normal D. You shizer. $68. Oh, save the manatees. Ooh. What's that? 4 or 5 now? There's our 5th NIFC, guys. Ooh. What? Native to the old land, naive to the new, this indigenous and dangerous space, graceless aimlessly over the dangerous snowy hills of the tundra. Ooh. It still made it, and there, you know what? I actually like this one a bit. But yeah, it still made it. Look at that. Hey, this motherfucker was so twisted, he was hugging the floor to hold on. Shit. There we go, guys. This is why we do it. Ah! I can't see what the hell that says. Oh, P. Philly. There we go. Ooh. Now, I'll tell you this right now, too, guys. When you come across ones like these, do not check them off. If this is natural toner, get it graded. Collectors love stuff like this. Natural oxidization. I don't know if that's what it is. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe it ain't. I'm trying to figure it out. But sometimes it'll be stuck in there. I don't know. Yeah, it looks like it's just somebody had it in something, or I don't know. It looks like it's trying to tone. Maybe somebody did something to it. But this can happen from a number of different things. Not getting layered or cladded right causes a unstable mutation. Air oxidizing it. Exposure to certain shit. I don't know though. And if that looks like a die crack on his head. Have you guys ever seen a coin where like you could take the front, you could see it, so it'll actually peel off. You could actually peel a piece off like plastic. But then when you do, there's actually a hole in the coin, not all the way through, but a hole. Those are airs. Really sought out airs. I'm not 100% sure what's going on here because I see color. We'll put it off to the side. Uh-huh. 76D. Fill it. 81D. Wow. This one's toning up too. He's a little messed up. He's a little ragged. He'll be alright though. 22. Come on, give us a 24. Yesterday morning, somebody was talking about it, and I said, yeah, we haven't got one in a hot minute. So let's get a 24. Like 2 minutes later, boom, 24. 65 with a hole in between 6 and 5. No mint mark. Oh, well. 14. Almost looked like a B. The light was doing it, though. Yeah, there's no way on that one. Oh, shit. Damn, we got a lot going on here. All right, we got 12 more minutes, guys. Let's... Ooh. Oh. 24, 24. Not 25. Not 23. And not 22. 24. Lewis and Clark. $86p. $88 Denver. Ooh, Darky. Denver dumped it up, but it'll be all right. Damn, a 39 right after the 64? Yeah. Oh, 59. I was about to say, we do get 39s, but this is a nice clean 30. I never seen one. This one looks like a champion absent Wheaties. Son of a gun. This one's got the makings of a varsity athlete. Yeah, look at that. If I didn't know any better, that actually might just be an IFC material. You gotta remember, there was some years where they didn't put the mint marks. West Point was notorious for doing that with the pennies. I think there's like 1 or 2 years out of the pennies where they had the W mint mark for West Point. So, and I'm not even too hip to it. I just know that's common knowledge. I said 24. $71 Denver. Damn, this one too many little green around the gills. Too many hits of that McKillicuddy's. Got him hugging the floor to hold on. Yeah, no mint mark. Look at that shit. All worn and tattered. Bingo. Little P filled in P. Okay, let's see. Let's keep go. Keep go. Here, after we get the, I'm going to show you guys a few other things, and then we're going to shut her down. But like I said, we'll get up and going again. But yeah, we've already gotten, what, 4 or 5 proofs? I'm pretty ecstatic. I hope you guys are too. Couldn't have done it without y'all. Denver done tonight. Manatee, behave. I said behave, you. Don't start chewing on me. I'm not food. You eat too much anyways. You eat the hinges off the refrigerator door if somebody let you. Oh, now this... behave, you. Look at this. Now that, oh yeah. Number 5 or 6. Ooh, save the manatees. Yeah. Oh yes. Oh yes. Stall you out like Debo and come and take it like Repo. Oh yeah, this one's healthy. Oh yeah, prepared to perform. That's just all there is to it. There's another one. What? You see what I'm talking about? How rare the 24s are? I haven't got one the whole day. You knows that? I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to put you out to the side. I'm gonna have to vet you a little more. And a broken clock's right twice a day. Oh, there we go. I'm thinking that most radar detector finds look like this. Haven't ever seen a radar one like this full blown, looking like it's 89. The thing is, what would it matter if it's not just going to be any other coin? What if it was exclusively an air? You can't sit there, even if somebody knows it's an air, and go, oh, it's an air, because until it's certified, so I think when it comes to airs, they have diplomatic immunity to your statement. And good thing that we're not worried about monetary gain, because this ain't true currency. You want to try to spin your wheels in the mud again? Because, coming on here and being negative like that right away, you're off to a bad start. You do know that, right? Nobody likes it. That's not me. That's everybody talking. The thing is, no matter how many people get a coin graded, and if it's not one more or not, what are you going to do about it? That's the thing, because you're the one who's all hot and bothered about it. And your comment's a bit diluted anyways. Case in point, things that get graded, depending on what it is, end up being sold at private and public auctions. So you're diluting yourself. Like hollow vessel with no substance. So I think maybe you need to go take a look in the mirror and reevaluate your situation, because we don't deal with that around here. Yeah. Because if you fall, you're not going to get up. You can't, it's so easy to be negative like that. Oh, see, somebody else just took care of you. Nobody likes that shit, man. What are you, the man of discourage? It's bad enough that doubt's the true enemy anyways in life. Time and patience is the true counter. Don't ever doubt yourself, guys. Don't ever do it. And if you're doing something in your life, it don't even have to be with coins. Let's say you're doing something in your life you want to do and it's what you want, and somebody's trying to talk you out of it. It's because they don't want to see you elevate. They want to keep you pulled down in a fucking, in a quagmire that they call their personal tar pit. You do what you're going to do. That's why you have free will. Don't ever let somebody try to be steering you this way or that way. You might as well, if you're going to let that happen, go buy a leash and put it on you and let them walk you. Otherwise, yeah. Like people like that come on, they're fucking bored with life. Because I can never fan them hopping onto somebody's live stream and just starting to talk negative. Just out of nowhere. 56. No, because that's just not what I do. And you're never going to see it because it's not in my vocabulary. It's non-existent. Another nice 56. No mint market's okay, though. Got to keep them old ones. Like that is what a lot of people thrive on is misery. So they come on and they start doing that stuff. And their whole thing is to get people to, oh, let's just be retarded, let's get drunk off clown sauce and send ourselves to slip and fall school. Just complete nonsense. The mint mark looked like it was worn out or gone a little bit. Come on, you can't get a 24 up in here. $89p. 13. 90. $95. $66. Ooh. What we got going on here with you? This guy's looking a little strong. No mint mark though. And if there was a mint mark, I don't know where the hell it's at. He might have not had one. Oops, my bad. 91. 91D. $81D. Nothing getting a twist about. 15. Okay. All right, we done with our hunt. We did pretty damn good though, minus the 26s. How many proofs did we end up getting here? Let's see. Let's see if we can knock them. Put them down. See if we know exactly what we got. We'll line them up here. Got a 68 here. 68 proof. We find whatever's there to be discovered. Pays to discover. Not talking MasterCard. We look for NIFCs exclusively, but we like to look for heirs and new coins and everything, whatever floats the boat. Like this in case in point right here. Stuff that's exclusively not intended for circulation. Got a 68 business strike. Let's see what else we can add to a 70. I don't know if this 58 made grade. Nope, that 58 Denver. I think we were at 4 or 5. Just gonna have to remember where I put them up. Let's see here. That's a filled in P. So we got 3 so far. Let's check these other ones. I know that we hit a couple extra ones, and I was just like, wow, that was unexpected. Yep, there's another 70. So there's 4. I think we hit 5, and I'm not trying to push it, but maybe 6. But you guys beat the record from yesterday. Yesterday morning we hit 4. This 59. Hold on here. I have a feeling that it's 5. We'll check through the rest of these, see what the hell's going to happen right now, just to make sure. Didn't really find. I think we did find 1 error. Let's check all this stuff, though. See what's happening. Get these out of the way. 41. Denver. God, that bites the ass because I love the 41s. And earlier this week, our second coin out of the first roll was a 41 proof. Epic. Epic, epic. What about you? Oh, there it is. Yeah. But let's keep going because it might be 6. Let's check all of them. Okay, that's just 59. 59 Denver. There's a 59. Now this 59 I think is 1. And I don't think 59s had mint marks. There were certain years I didn't have them, but if you look at that from a standard 59, and see that's a little thing that could be a little problematic, but you know you could weigh it out, but like here, case in point, like right here. You know, here's some, you know, of your older proved business strikes, and you know some of them have the mint marks and some of them don't because that's just how they were made, but you know what I'm saying? So it really just all depends on the year, but you know, most of the time when you find one of these in circulation, they're not going to look like this, but no matter how messed up it is, like the 41, I believe that was it. Is that it right there? Yeah, I believe this is it right here. Right there, right there. Hold on, let me put on the thing so I can't even see like that. No. So, yeah, I'll pull it out. I'll pull it out so you guys can actually see it, but you know, you see what a proof or you know, a business strike looks like right off the thing. You know, uncirculated, but when you come across dirty coins, 1941, like I told you, why do you think when we had that other 41 in my hand, I was just in euphoric mode because all I could think about was the other day when we earthed this. We'll put under X-ray specs. Even them out. This is what you call black beauty. Don't clean these. You keep them the way they are. If you clean them, you're going to take away any originality and any true coating it had. But, yeah. So, like I said, just because they come out looking beautiful and shining and blinding at the same time, like I said, that's why you don't ever want to judge a book by its cover. And I'm not talking just with coins. I'm talking with anything, because that's how you know. And don't live your life off of assumptions, you know, or you know, any of that, because that's how things get messed up. You know, there's nothing wrong with pondering, but if you can get true peace of mind when it comes to coins, grading them would just be it. But hold on, what do we got here? How much? I have no idea, man. I really don't. I really don't. That's not nothing astronomical. That's not nothing crazy. I mean, if it was graded, the possibilities could just be endless because there could be something on there you just don't know. And that tends to happen a lot with certain people or, you know, certain coins. But when it comes give me a little. When it comes to like business strikes and shit like that and proofs, they were made on the side as like exclusively for collecting and like gifts, stuff like that. You know, to help, you know, cushion a blow. They line them up mint sets, you know, but they were always exclusively NIFCs. That's why, you know, 99.9% of them, you know, all out of San Francisco unless said otherwise. But my big thing is, you know, you just never know what you got. And then we went dry for a bit, but last week when we started back up, our last 4 rolls, we ended up getting 2 war nickels. And war nickels are very, very unique and have a lot of historic value. They're unique in many aspects. You're not going to find, if it looks like this, just pray you're going to save some manatees, because back the last 4 years of World War II, they needed nickels so bad for the war effort, they started dry gulching it out of the out of the nickels, and replacing it with silver. So these war nickels are actually 35% silver. But like I said, we're not a silver hunt channel. It's more about. But this is another thing too. Yeah, it may look like that, but you see above Monticello. That's letting you know where these were minted out of. That's another thing that secures the deal with these guys. Now there are heirs that do exist, but they're very non-existent. They do exist, but they're very, very rare. They're so rare that I guess people tried to make fake ones of those with no mint marks. Well, the only way to find out if it's fake or not is to get it graded. But those are real. Those were all earth. But yeah, we found 2 in the last 4 rolls from last week's hunt. So this is another thing that is cool to look for, because we're not looking for the silver. We're looking for the, we're looking for that wartime effort, because this is a whole different variant. And they made mass production of these, and there's actually big time heirs on these too. Yeah, there's like 2 or 3 different variants. It's the last 4 years of the war. Remember that. 42, 43, 44, and 45 are the only years you will find this type of nickel like this. They made, now just so you know, they made normal circulation strikes, but then after that, it was to the point to where they needed nickel. They were still making nickel, and they needed nickels bad. They needed the metal, and they had more silver than nickel, so they started taking the nickel out of the next set of coins, which were these for the next 4 years. Boom, 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 boom. And yeah, and this is how we got the special variant. Because I'll let you know this right now. First time I did nickels, I didn't know they existed, because somebody come on and that was what I got tired of. Are you looking for silver? No, I'm not. Nickels are made of nickel. Well, there's wartime nickels. I didn't know about it, but guess what? Within 10 minutes of him telling me that, we ended up getting 2. And that was earlier this year. And like I said, we got 6. They're cool though. They're pretty cool. They're pretty cool though. And then like I said, since we've been doing nickels, we've gotten 3 Northern Yaks. Ooh. Yeah, the real buffalo. That real big boy buffalo. But yeah, these guys have been through a lot. So I gotta get some of that acetone to put on them. Put on where the year would be, so an etching of the year will come out, so we can see what years they are. But yeah, one more air I'll show, and then I have to go. But I don't know exactly. I think it's a compound air, but we're gonna find out. Y'all know about the bicentennials. I'm going to show you 3 of them. That's your average circulation strike. That's a proof. And that is a wild card. Now, I wanted to perceive it to be a business, but they didn't do it like that, and that's not a San Francisco. On top of it, it's got an extra layer of clad on it. There's a few different things going on here that is completely crazy from your average ones. And on top of it, other thing that scare me, they all weigh different too. And that might be arbitrary, but sometimes weighing things confirm stuff. But show you the backs. Standard. Proof. And then, like I said, the wild card. So I don't know if it got hit with extra clad, and because that's not a normal circulation strike. And then, like I said, if you look at it close enough, it's got some other stuff going on, but it's more of why is it the way it is? Because it's not a proof. It's totally not a proof. And this is what like today's day and age, like the quarters look like, the business strikes look like. They're just completely cladded over. Then your proofs still look like this. They got a dark mirror cameo and then the frosted Everest. But yeah, it drives me nuts, because it sat there for a while. Like, I'm like, what is going on here? But yeah, that's not supposed to be happening. So I can't wait to send that yanker in. And then, we just got done with the last roll, the second box of dimes we did. So this wasn't yanked from it. Was not yanked from it, but collectors love toning. I love toners. you know, like, that's what that, 69 proof looks like. What else we what's this? That's not, no, that's the air. Hold on here. Where are we at? That's a 68 proof. What did we find out? We end up unexpectedly finding a mercury dime. 42. Yeah, this was the only like super old thing that was in there, but it was uneventful. It was cool. My daughter, when we were relic hunting 3 weeks ago, she found a 1912 Barber dime and damn near mint condition in the dirt. And we're looking for broke, glass bottles and fucking cans and stuff, like old stuff. We don't got no metal detector. And she found this. She found a Barber dime. It's posted on my page. I posted it. But yeah, this one right here is one of my main ones. I knew that it just wasn't right to your standard one that I'm going to be getting graded. Check this out. It's a Denver, Virginia, one of the very first quarters to make from the state program. That is not supposed to be going down, guys. Just so I can like give you guys a little reference point before I go. Here, I'm gonna bring it down for you a little bit. You can see it's really not toning. It looks like a layer of clad put on there, like an extra layer of clad somewhere. I didn't assume it was silver because I wasn't looking for silver. But when I seen it, I just knew there was something crazy about it. But it's not a business strike or a proof. Give me 1 second. All right, here, everybody. Like, when it comes to these quarters, I'm going to show because this is all stuff that we yanked together. All this stuff here in this other box. I'm going to show you, like, the difference between, your standard business strike and then a proof. It's just so people can, get a little hip with it. Okay, where you? There we go. There we go. Boom. All right, guys. I'm gonna bring this up a little bit. All right. Now you could see, we all know what a standard circulation strike quarter looks like from the state program. So like that's arbitrary. Here, I'll show you. This is what one looks like, but this is an air. This is an air too, but it looks like this. This is a compound air. No mint mark, sand and grease air, but it has no mint mark. So I want to get this grade, but this is standard, not exactly like this, but like this composition. Okay. Now, this is what a business strike looks like. It's got an extra layer of clad over. It's got a little dark cameo, but it's over the whole thing, and you got your S mint mark from San Francisco. Frederick Douglass, pastel man. Some things you can't understand, but yeah, these. Like I said, the stuff I'm showing you is exclusively was not made for circulation. So this is some of the rarest stuff to find in rolls because they're just hard. They're just hard to find. Like you'll find West Points over business strikes because there's more West Points made than there are business strikes. That's just mathematical. But that's what a business strike will look like. This is what a proof would look like. Now, proof's got a darker back mirror cameo, just like I showed you on the Kennedys, but frosted, obverse and reverse, like minted Prater. And that comes off real easy. You don't even want to mess with it. If you've got one, don't even go like that. You'll scratch that frost right off. But what these ones I'm showing you, we found this all in circulation. So, and these low mint run too. Not super big on anything, but it's like that's what we do. Because if it was made for circulation, they would have made hundreds of millions of them, you know, and then they'd be everywhere, and they're not. There's just doesn't happen. Just like with the older ones, your proof would look like this. Like I said, same instance, dark cameo, your S mint mark, frosted. But like I told you, I showed you that bicentennial one with those other two variants. We yanked all that. Everything I'm showing you, we've yanked on here. So, and then like I said, we already did West Point, right? Or do we gotta take a trip down memory lane? We can take a trip down memory lane. Your standard West Point, you got to remember this. So let me get these out of the way, though. But yeah, this one is totally going in to get graded because this ain't a standard circulation strike of Philly or Denver, but it was made out of Denver. And that's not toning. That is not toning, guys. That's not toning. I can show you a true toner. That's not toning. That is like air clad. You know, just something weird. All I know, we'll find out. Everything in time will reveal itself. Okay. Let's see here. What do we got going on here? Wow. Okay, you got a hot... Damn, they're just everywhere. Okay, guys. Your standard West Point will look like this if you get one. It'll have a W over here for where it was minted out of, which was West Point. That's why they call them that. And you guys got to remember something. They only made these West Points in 2 years, 2019 and 2020. There's 5 different variants of it. This is your average West Point. All 5 variants from both years, they only made 2 million per coin. So there ain't many of these out there, but we find them. Now, to show you the Ambrosias of West Points. This right here would be what you would call the Ambrosia of a West Point. Do you guys see the difference? Like I said, they made them in 2019 and 20. There wasn't many made. In each one that they did make, there was only 2 million of. But the same instance, you'll have the W mint mark over here, and then if you know you got one of the Gobstompers, you'll have that V75 privy right there. Get right with you. Yeah, ain't no getting around that shit. So, develop a carbon footprint. They breathe what you exhale. Ooh. Yeah. But yes. Don't let anybody fool you or tell you otherwise. Just trying to let you guys know what goes on, what does happen, what do not. But this is an old dime of mine I want to get graded. It's a 48 Denver, and it's a toner. I've had it for 15 years, so I've watched it in gracefully tone, and it's beautiful to watch old coins tone. Collectors really love them because that's natural toning. And this motherfucker's healthy like a champion, absent Wheaties. But yeah, this is one of my favorite dimes that I have. And it's got a few things going on other than the toning. And like I said, that's why I can't wait to get her in there. But yeah. But yeah, guys, we're going to shut it down. We had a killer live. 5 proofs, guys. 5 you guys found. I'll tell you. You guys really know how to apply belt to ass. Because you did yesterday, you did the day before, and you're doing today. So, any new recruits? Hey, welcome to the club. Couldn't do it without you. Until next time, though. You got anything that you want to bring to the table, anything that you want to post to the channel, any suggestions. We always take on advisement because everybody together is one here. So as long as you're here in appropriate manner, everything's the same. So, like I said, guys, until the next time, like, comment, subscribe. It's your Warlord Witham, and I'm out. Save the manatees! Ooh.